of our three-part virtual series exploring the library's downloadable media services. My name is Amelia. I'm going to be your host tonight. And I'm joined by my coworker, Todd. Todd is going to be handling the technical aspects of Zoom for us tonight and monitoring the chat for questions. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be covering the basics of using our downloadable media services to get ebooks, downloadable audiobooks, TV and music, and more. Tonight, we're going to start with how to use Libby by Overdrive. Libby is a mobile app that you can use to access ebooks and audiobooks on your smartphone, your tablet, or any other mobile device that can download apps. Before I get into that, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, iHeartMedia. They have provided a lot of assistance in getting the word out about this program, so I just wanted to say thank you to them. And finally, Todd is going to be monitoring the chat for us, so if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them through the chat at any time, and Todd will bring them to my attention. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using Libby from my web browser today, but it works exactly like the mobile app. It's going to have all the same buttons and functions. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do if you are at home with your mobile device is you need to download the Libby app from the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, wherever you get apps from on your device. And this is what it's going to look like when you get started. It's going to ask you a couple of questions to get you started. The first question is, do you have a library card? And there's a couple different ways you can find your library location. I'm just going to search by my zip code. And we're at the Blue Ridge Download Consortium at the Handley Library. Yes, I read with Kindle. Oh, I think it had my login saved from earlier. So I guess we'll just go with that. It'll ask you to choose your library branch from a drop-down menu. So you're just gonna choose Handley Regional Library System, and then it's gonna ask you to enter your library card number and your PIN number. So you're gonna need those handy when you log in. Okay, so as you're getting started, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is scroll down here to Preferences to select if you only want to read ebooks, or you're only interested in audiobooks, or if you want to do magazines, you can select any of those options here and click Apply Preferences. There's a couple other things you can change, like you can change the general audience so you can get content that's directed at you. You can choose the file format. So if you're using a Kindle, you can choose to see only Kindle books. You can sort it by availability. Whether you want to see everything or only things that are available now. And then when you click Apply Preferences, it'll refresh and it'll save all the preferences you just put in. Okay, so let me see. The other thing is you can change account settings by tapping the little Libby logo right there. I'm just gonna hide the thumbnail video so I can see this better. So you can change your library, you can see the library cards that you have, and you can find help and support at this, from this tab. So you can see we have, they have a couple of quick links to help you get started if you just want to browse. But first of all, we're just going to go through all the tabs. I'll tell you what the tabs are for, and then we'll go through them in a little more detail. So the first one here is the magnifying glass. This is the search tab. You can use this tab to search by title or author. This tab right here is the library tab, the one that looks like a library card. Here you're going to explore the library's collection of ebooks, audiobooks, and magazines. I just went over the help tab, which is the Libby icon. And then this tab right here that looks like a stack of books is your shelf. This is where all your loans and holds are going to show up. And right here is your history tab. And it says right here, your activity timeline will grow as you borrow titles, place holds, and return loans from your library. So let's go ahead and get started to find something to read. If you already know what you have in mind, you can just go to the search bar and you can search by title or author. But if you're coming just to browse and you're not really sure where do you want to get started, Libby has a couple of ways to help you out. The first one is they have curated lists. Libby is constantly adding new lists of books, audiobooks, and magazines to just give you a little idea of what's available in the library. Right now, we have the Asian American and Pacific Islander voices, teen reads, Black voices, action titles. They have all sorts of different collections that you can scroll through if you're just wanting to pick up something quickly. You can also browse by subjects or genres. Up at the top of the page here, they have a couple of links that can help you get started. You can see what's just been added. You can see what's popular. You can just get something random. You can see what's available now, or right here, which is the one I was just talking about, you can go through subjects. Subjects is a great way to discover something new within genres that you already like. Say you like fantasy, you can just click on the fantasy tab and narrow it down through books or audiobooks. Yeah, and they have it arranged, I believe, by according to how many titles are in each category. So we have tons and tons of regular fiction, not so much of the men's lifestyle and reference. But yeah, this is a good way to just get started if you're not really sure what you're in the mood for right now. So let's try borrowing an ebook. So I'm going to make sure that I can borrow something right now. So I'm going to choose available now. And I'm going to check out Nomadland. So right here, you can see the little tab that says borrow. If you click on that, it's going to let you know that you have 0 of 12 loans out right now. So you can borrow up to 12 items at a time. You have nothing on hold right now. You can have up to 10 holds at a time. So we're going to go ahead and click borrow, and it's letting us know that we're borrowing it for 14 days. You can change that to 7 days if you want. So we're going to go ahead and click borrow. So now you can open the book, you can keep browsing, or you can go to your shelf. I'm going to open the book so you can just see what the interface looks like. If you have a Kindle, you'll have the option at this point to send it to your Kindle device. But for right now, we're just going to look at Libby. So we're going to open it in the app. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it first loads. You see the cover image there, and down here as it's loading, you're going to see the chapters come up. Sometimes it takes a minute. But yeah, you can see the pages down here, and the chapters are marked. If you click where it says chapters, you can scroll through and see everything there. And to go through the pages, you can just tap at the edge of the screen. Okay, some of these also have links here where you can just click to be taken to the first chapter. If this was a magazine, there's also a zoom option where you can like zoom in to see, what's on the screen a little bit better. And we're going to go over the little tabs up here. So this one right here is the page icon. It's going to switch the page view for you, so you can either view one page at a time or two, however you like to do it. This little A icon will change the text size, the color scheme, the font, that sort of thing. This is great for accessibility. If you need the text to be a little bit bigger, you can include accessibility sizes. You can get the text as big or as small as you like it. You can also change the lighting. Right, this is the default, which is called bright. There's also sepia and the dark view for however you like to read. There's also several different fonts that you can choose from, whatever is most comfortable for you. I like to use the Open Dyslexic font because I do have dyslexia, and this makes it a lot easier for me to read. Yeah, so we also have a search tab here. You can search within the book if you're looking for, anything in particular. You can also use the book bookmark icon to make bookmarks on the page. Well, it looks like the bookmark, they actually moved it since I last looked at it, is it's right here in the middle of the page, and then you can click the bookmarks and highlights tab to see all the different bookmarks that you've made and go back to them later. Okay. Are there any questions so far? How are we doing? Am I going too fast? Too slow? Anything? Okay. I'm going to move on to show you our audiobooks. So how to download and listen to an audiobook. I'm going to change the format and apply preferences. See audiobooks. So the borrowing process is pretty much the same for the ebooks as the audiobooks. We're just going to click borrow here, and it's letting us know how many loans and holds we have left and how long we're holding, how long we're borrowing it for. And we're going to go ahead and open the audiobook.
Hey, Amelia.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt just for a second because we noticed today that borrow button that appeared. On some mobile devices, you might have to scroll down to see that. So just,
okay.
Just a tip there.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay, so as you can see with the audiobooks, the display looks fairly similar to the ebooks with the chapter headings here that you can skip to. But of course, it's a little different with the play button here. And it has the addition of the skip buttons. You can skip 15 seconds forward or backward with the audiobook. And this right here is the play and pause button. And we have some different tabs up here, which we can use. This one that looks like a speedometer controls the playback speed. You can make it slower or faster, and you can fine tune it yourself with this little sliding scale, or you can just choose one of those options there. They have a sleep timer. So if you like to listen, if you're like me and you like to listen to stuff as you're going to sleep, but you don't want your phone to be playing all night, you can set it to play till the end of the chapter, or you can set it to one of this pre-selected times, or you can choose a specified time. And then right here, we also have the bookmarks and highlights. It's a little bit different with the audiobooks. Because, you know, since it's a media that you listen to, you can highlight like a whole chapter, or you can highlight just a little snippet of audio by holding down the bookmark button here. So you can see that that's started, and this is the, I'll go ahead and pause it, and this is the bookmark that we took. And we can see that once again in the bookmarks and highlights tab. Okay. Any questions about audiobooks?
Oh, looks like we're good.
Looking good? Okay, sweet. All right, so since these are digital ebooks and audiobooks, you never have to worry about returning something late. At the end of the borrowing period, your items will go back automatically. But if you aren't finished, you can always renew them. Now, I don't have a way to do that right now because it is time. They won't let you renew it unless you're within 3 days of the due date. But if you click Manage Loan here, you have an option to return early. If you're finished with it, you have the option here to renew the loan. And let me see. Yeah, the return early is good if you finish something and you just want to give someone else a chance with it. And then you can also see the reading journey. You can see where that is. Oh, you don't have any data for this title. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you can see the timeline for this title, when you borrowed it. And also from the managed loans, you can add tags. And I'll talk a little bit more about tags later. So I'm going to go back to the library tab. And one of the things about Libby is that it's very similar to the physical collection in that we only have a limited number of each item that's available at any given time. So if we have 3 copies of a particular book and all 3 copies are checked out, that means you're going to have to wait to get a hold of it. So you can put something on hold. I'm going to go ahead and change the preferences so that it's showing everything. And let's find a popular book. Okay, so these are all kind of new titles, so you're most likely not going to be able to get your hands on them right away. But you can see right here next to the title that you can place a hold. When you click on that, it brings up a very similar menu to when you borrow something. It still lets you know how many loans you have, how many holds you have, and it also lets you know how many copies we have and how many people are waiting. So it gives you a sense of where you are in the timeline. So you can see this is a very popular book. It is unlikely to be ready for you to borrow for at least 6 months, but I'm optimistic, so I'm going to go ahead and place a hold on it anyway. And you can read a sample, and in this menu you can also suspend your hold if you want to collect it at a later time, but I mean, I'm sure 6 months is plenty of time. Let me see. So we're going to go ahead and go to shelf, and I'll show you what else you can do with your holds. So this is what I was talking about with the spending hold. If you'd like to give yourself more time before your hold is available, you can click here where it says suspend hold and give yourself some extra time before you pick that up. And like it says, your hold will keep moving to the front of the line even while it's suspended. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Now you have your email already in there, correct?
My email?
When you place a hold?
Yes.
To notify you by email?
Yes, I was going to bring that up a little bit later, but I
will
think...
hold my tongue.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So I think how I have it set is just... Okay, yeah, I was going to bring this up is if you want to change how you get your loans, I'm sorry, how you get your holds delivered, you can go to the help section from the little Libby icon. And when you click manage notifications here, you can see I have all my notifications set for menu badges because I have Libby on my phone. So I get a notification on my phone when I have a loan that's about to expire, when I have a hold ready, any other things that Libby would need to notify you about. I have them set for a menu badge. Or you can set it to ignore if you'd rather not get notifications for that sort of thing. But you can also choose to get an email notice. And when you get an email notice, they will ask you to enter your email. Where is it? Right here. You need to specify an email address before email notices can be sent to you. So you can just click fix this, enter in your email address, and hit next. And that will enable them to send you email notifications when something is ready if you would prefer to get notifications that way. Oh, looks like we have someone in the meeting room.
Oh, we do. Thank you.
Okay. Are we good right now? Any questions or anything?
Don't see any questions.
Okay. Okay, so the other thing I was going to talk about was tags. Tags can be used to help you organize your reading experience. When you click on a title, either on the shelf or in the library, you can, whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Where is it? There we go. If you click on the text, you can add tags to it to help you keep things organized. They do have some smart tags, which they have borrowed. They have a couple other ones. I don't see them showing up right now. But you can create tags, like a couple ones that they have suggested are book club, study, beach reads. You can save a list of like want to read. So you can tag something that you see, but you don't have time to read it right now. You want to come back to it later. You can tag it with want to read. And you can see your tags from your shelf. If you go to your shelf tab here, you can see all your tags up at the top here. So when I click want to read, I see everything in that want to read tag. Okay, any other questions right now? I think I got through this a lot faster than I expected. That's pretty much everything that I had to talk about. Covered the basics.
For our participants, has anyone been in Libby thus far? Is there anything from your experience that you have a question about? Amelia, why don't you tell us what devices Libby works well with and which ones it doesn't?
Okay, Libby is primarily designed to be used with Apple or Android device. You can use it with a smartphone, with a tablet. It's currently not available for Kindle users. There are workarounds for that, which we're going to talk about in a future installment of this series, so look forward to that. But yeah, it's mainly smartphones, tablets, Apple and Android devices.
Okay, Mike is telling us that not in Libby yet, but will be later this next week. So
awesome.
If there are any questions or difficulties when Micah does their download, what can they do?
If you have any questions, you can always give us a call. You can come into the library and chat with us at the information desk. We're happy to help. You can also send us an email, information@handleyregional.org, or also info@handleyregional.org works as well. And if we still have some time, I could show us a magazine, or if anyone has any other questions.
A magazine would be great, but before we do that, we do have a question about getting newspapers.
Oh, okay. Getting newspapers on Libby?
On Libby.
Libby does not have newspapers. Libby does have magazines. I don't think that, let me see. I forget how to. See what we have with the magazines. There are some magazines that are kind of news oriented, like we have The Economist, we have, where are the other ones? Is there like, I want to see like the full list. Did you have something
under
to add,
Refine, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah, so we do have some news-oriented magazines here. Newsweek, New York Magazine, Harper's. Yeah, there's a pretty, oh, Mother Jones. Yeah, we have a pretty broad selection.
Suppose I want to read something in Russian.
In Russian. Oh yeah, that's right. You can refine stuff by languages. That is a really cool one. Do we have anything in Russian? It doesn't. Let me see. We have some in Chinese, some in French, Spanish, Japanese, German, Indonesian, Italian. Oh, Portuguese. One Portuguese magazine. Any other questions, or is there anything else you think I should hit?
Let me think here.
$25 credit on any product service. Go online or find us in Target. Today, stronger immunity and better nutrition are more important than ever.
Lisa says, love the audiobooks. Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, you might mention, so when you were going in to borrow, it showed how many, like this is number 1 out of 12.
Mm-hmm.
But magazines, different, right?
Oh yeah. I think it's, oh gosh, put me on the spot here. I'm trying to
So I think it's
I think you can just, I think you can check
unlimited.
out unlimited numbers of magazines. There's no holds on magazines either. Magazines are always available, so you can borrow any magazine anytime, and there's no checkout limit on those. Ooh, I want to look at this Cooks one. That looks good. Anything else I should touch on? I don't know why I keep saying hit. I'm not going to commit violence against this web app.
Shortcut back to the main screen is?
Shortcut back to the main screen. This is the main screen, isn't it?
Oh, I'm thinking of Blue Ridge Download Consortium,
Oh,
not
yeah.
so much Libby.
Yeah. It is different when you look at it on the web page. But Libby, you just have the library card tab here, which is the home tab, and your shelf, which are the two main ones.
I'm going to ask, does anyone read on their computer?
Yeah, that's
I can't type. Keyboards, they're mysterious things.
Mysterious indeed.
I spelled your with an I.
Well, thanks for stopping in, Micah. We were glad to have you.
All right. Well, I think if there are no more questions.
Can you
there we
download to laptop? So there is not a desktop version of the app. However, you can access all the same functions either through libbyapp.com, which is what I'm using for this demonstration, or you can go to the Blue Ridge Download Consortium, which you can access from our homepage, the library's homepage. So to navigate to that, you're going to go to our homepage, handleyregional.org. There's a couple different ways to access it. One way is through the digital library. We have the ebooks, music, and more. It would be great if my cursor would work. Awesome. And this is the Blue Ridge Download Consortium here. And this is all the same stuff that's available on Libby. It's just optimized for the desktop. So that might be a little bit easier to use on your desktop. But the libbyapp.com works just as well. And it has all the same functionality as the app, which is a little bit different from the website.
I had typed into the notes or into the chat just the Adobe Digital Editions. If they really want to download it, they would need that. But the Libby app is the easiest way to do it.
Oh yeah, I probably should mention that when you're using the Libby app on your phone or your tablet, you have the option to either download all the content or just stream it using the Wi-Fi, and you can change how you do that. Actually, I don't know that you can do it from libbyapp.com, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to demonstrate to you how that looks, but you can change whether or not you are using Wi-Fi to like stream stuff or to download it to your phone or your tablet so that you can look at it later if you don't have Wi-Fi.
And we can get a sample, right?
A sample?
Is that through Libby that we can get, like, just listen to or read a sample?
Yeah, you can. If something isn't available at the time, like when you're looking at it, you can get a. Let me see. I think I'm still under the magazine, so let me fix that. So you can. Oh, you're giving me more magazines. Yeah, if something isn't available, or if it is available and you're not sure if you want to borrow it, you can always read a sample. You can get like it's usually like the first chapter or the first couple of pages, and it's the same for the audiobooks.
Amelia, one thing I don't know that a lot of our patrons know is that in addition to our collection, which is Blue Ridge Download Consortium, they can also add the Library of Virginia as a second library.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you have a library card for another library, you can add it here. If you go into the little Libby icon help tab, you can click add a library and you can search for it just like I did. You can search for it by name, you can search for your city or your zip code, and you can add another library with your library card through the same process. And you can also switch between those cards there. So I only have one card connected here, but if you have multiple cards, you can go to the help tab and click see library cards. And you can add another card from here as well. And you can switch between whatever library cards that you have. Any other questions?
Let's see, you want to talk about what we're going to do next week?
Oh yeah, so next week it's going to be something pretty similar to this. We're going to be going over the Hoopla app, which is another app that we have for downloadable media. Hoopla has a pretty wide range of content, so that's pretty exciting. You can get ebooks, audiobooks. You can also get TV series. You can get movies. You can get, I don't remember if they have magazines off the top of my head, but they do have graphic novels as well. So there is, and music as well. So there is a huge variety of content that you can access through Hoopla, and we'll be going over that next week.
And why don't we mention, in case people want to go back and look at something that you covered tonight, that we are recording this.
Yeah, we have been recording this meeting, and we're going to be posting it to our website and to the Facebook page, I believe, as well. So if there is anything that you have questions about, you want to look at it again later, if you want to share it with someone, you will be able to do that. We'll be posting each link as we go through the series. It'll be posted to our website.
Okay.
Lisa says, can you give the website? Yes, it's going to be posted to our homepage, which is handleyregional.org. And did we have that under the adult services page? I can't type.
We might have a link to it right now. It should be talking about what's coming up, but we will transfer it over to show links to the YouTube. They'll be posted to YouTube, and we'll put links on the page that you're showing right now. So yeah, that's / exploring the library summer. But I'll tell you what, we'll send out those links to everyone who's registered. So if you were here tonight, you'll get an email.
Okay.
All right. Well, Amelia, you were just too efficient.
I'm just way too efficient. Unless anybody has any other questions, I think we're good to call it for the night.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.